can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be installing the JB4 onto the 135. I'll show you guys how easy it is. First things first, guys, go ahead and just pop the trunk real quick. And then once you have the trunk open, you pretty much just go down here if you're on a 1 series, and you just pretty much loosen up the negative terminal. You don't have to completely remove the screw, just loosen it up enough to actually remove the negative, and then you can just put it down off to the side. We're good to go on that. Don't close the trunk. What I like to do is just pretty much lock it. And I'll lock it like that. Now the trunk will not accidentally shut, so that's gonna be awesome. If you guys have a 3 series, you will have to pretty much remove your liner, and then you can actually access your battery right over here. But if you have the 1 series, it's right down there, super easy to get to. Now the next step would be to remove your cowl filters, but I have the Burger tuning cowl filters. So if you guys have to remove your cowl filters, I actually have a video on how to do that. So make sure to check out my cowl filter install if you guys wanna see how to remove that. It's super easy, just a couple bolts, and then we actually get to the DME, which is right over here. And that's where we're gonna be installing the JB4 plus the wireless Bluetooth kit. Now there's 2 things you have to unlock. There's one down here, you just push it towards the right, and this one you push it towards the left. And then there's 2 clips on the back, you pretty much just pull up on them. Just like that, and there's also 2 clips in the front. And then once you have that, this whole thing should just come out. We are good to go. Now that we have the cap removed, there's a couple switches we need to move out of the way, which are these 3. So the ones back here, you don't even have to touch it. We just need to pretty much access the DME. So to access the DME, we do need to bring it up a little bit. So the DME is held down by a few tabs. You can go ahead and just pull back on these connectors and just release the harness, because that's all that we really need, to be honest. So we just got the first harness out. Other one's on this side. So I'm gonna pull back. All right, and just like that, that is the second clip, and you just pull up on it. Now that we have both harnesses up, we do need to take out the connectors. So going off the big connector first, this is on the left side. You just pretty much push up on the tab, and then the whole thing just pretty much comes out. So click up on the tab there, and then pull on the connectors, and that comes out. So that's the first one. And that is the second connector. Now we can just pretty much move that off to the side for now. We have the 2 that we need to tap into, and we're just gonna go with the smaller one right now. So you do have to remove this entire plastic piece. To remove it, you just pretty much put a flathead or anything in there. Pop out the tab on each side. There's one back here. I don't know if you guys can see that tab. Just like that. That entire connector comes off. And you can pretty much do the same exact thing and pull it out. So we can move that off to the side as well now. And now we have all 4 connectors freed up. That's exactly what we need. Now you guys are gonna notice on the JB4, like, what is all of this? It's not as scary as it looks. It's actually very easy. So the 2 reds go towards that small connector on the right, and the 2 blacks go towards the big connector on the left. So we're gonna go ahead and just connect these 2 real quick. These both go to the left side, and there's some instructions you guys have to follow. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's an arrow pointing that way, and on top, as you guys can see, is an arrow pointing this way. You have to match up the arrow to the same thing on the connector. I'll show you guys that. Now these were connected to the bigger connector that was on the left. So now that we have both of these, you're gonna be looking at the harness, the white and the black. So if you guys look at this one right here, the arrow is facing down. I don't know if you guys can see that. And if I pull out the harness right here, if I face it this way, the arrow is pointing in the opposite direction. It's going that way. So we don't want it to be opposite. So we're going ahead and flip it over, and that's how we're gonna connect it. So basically one side is not showing any arrow, and one side is showing the arrow. That's the way you're supposed to connect it, not when you see both arrows going opposite directions. So just like that. And we're pretty much gonna be doing the exact same thing with the black connector. And as easy as that, we just went ahead and finished these 2. Now that these are mated, these 2 are gonna go back into the harness. So let's do that in the end. Let's go ahead and connect the red ones. These are color coordinated, gray to gray, black to black, so that works out perfectly, super easy. So that is the gray connector, and last but not least, all right guys, now we're gonna go ahead and connect the black connector. So black to black. So for the big connector, we are gonna have to put them back in. So we wanna make sure the arrow is facing inwards. Go ahead and just put that back in like that. Arrow facing inwards, put it in just like this. And once those are both in there, we'll be ready to go to connect the big one. But before we do that, let's go ahead and just do the small one as well. So guys, having this facing us, the gray one's gonna be on the inner. Pretty much just slide that in there. So you hear a click, and then the black one, fish that down there. That's gonna go on the other side, and that connects just like that. So to make sure that stays in there, make sure you put the bracket back in. Not all the way though, because we have to connect it back to the DME. So go ahead and connect the small one real quick. A lot of wires, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but shouldn't be too difficult. All right, we got the small one in there. Now we're just gonna go ahead and pull up on the DME again, and just connect the bigger one. Alright guys, now we just have the JB4 cable and the power wire. So we're gonna have to get to this green wire right there to plug in the power wire. So, making it pretty easy, let's just go ahead and put this off to the side right now and just take out the green wire. Alright guys, actually we do have to leave it a little bit connected. We need to find the second pin. So look on this side, number 2, which means this is the wire we need to tap into. So we can go ahead and disconnect it now, and we need to release this door. So to do that, all we gotta do is pretty much just push up on this. And don't lose that clip like I did, it happens all the time. But once you have that clip removed, go ahead and just unpin that wire. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put my little picking tool in there, push it down. Or maybe pull the wire, yeah, just like that. And this thing just comes right on out. Remember, it goes into the second slot. So grabbing our power wire, we're gonna go ahead and connect the male to female right here, just like that. So now we have the male to female connected. Go ahead and put the male piece back in there. And you should hear a clicking sound just like that, guys. So as soon as you hear the clicking sound, it's in there. It won't actually come out. I actually completely lost my bracket thing, but thank the Lord, it's kind of a 2-step release, so it's in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just connect my connector back and just reline this up just like that. And now that that's all looking pretty, I'm gonna go ahead and just rearrange these wires before connecting the JB4, and then we are ready to go. That is it. Actually, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just connect the JB4. This is a lot of wires, so I wanna first connect this, tighten up the JB4. Now that's 100% good to go. You guys are pretty much complete. You can just tuck this away, but if you have the wireless adapter, there is one more step you guys have to do. Now this is the wireless connect kit, so it comes with everything. This blue wire, this connects directly to the JB4 screws and the connection. So let's go ahead and install this bad boy. Now you guys are probably looking at this, you're like, oh, I have to tap. Yes, but it's actually quite easy the way they do it for you guys. So tap this blue wire into this red wire that we connected down here, the smaller piece, not the bigger piece, the smaller. I'll show you guys that real quick. So we're gonna go ahead and unscrew the gray part out of the tapper, put it around here, try to get it as high up to the connector as possible, and then go ahead and just tighten it up. And it should pretty much puncture right into it. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just puncturing straight into the power wire. Now that it's in there and it's looking like that, you can go ahead, loosen up the top just a little bit. You don't have to do it all the way. Slide in the blue wire into the top, and then tighten up that connector. And as you guys can see, this thing won't even come out. So now that this is all hooked up together, make sure everything is tight one more time. We can go ahead and just connect the Bluetooth adapter to the other side of the JB4, and then use the 2 screws that it came with just to tighten it up. Now that I have this all screwed up, the blue wire tapped into the red wire, and all those connectors hooked up, triple check that green connector is hooked up and ready to go, and all that is done, then this should work right off the bat. So before I put all this back together, just go in the car and just make sure that's actually working properly. So just go ahead and just start up the car, get inside the car, and just see if it's working. Blinkers are on, that means it. Yep, there you go, guys. That was pretty much the initiation of the JB4. So the JB4 is officially hooked up. I'm sorry for my allergies, guys. If you guys want to pick up a JB4, make sure to check out that link down below and the Bluetooth adapter. They're both gonna be linked down below. If you guys want to see the JB4 in use, make sure to check out my main channel, which is also gonna be linked down below. Without further ado, guys, I love y'all so much. Remember to stay humble. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.